So, welcome to my first Las Vegas Kings video. Today, we're just going to be looking through the team. I'm going to give you a brief introduction where we are in current time and the direction of this team and where we're looking forward, what we're trying to do with this roster. So, this league is called NRDBG and it is played right on Discord, which is pretty cool. That means there is about 29 other GMs. Some quit, whatever. So you have new ones coming in and out. But there is 29 other teams with GMs. So it's like a kind of in real life type league. As you can see up here, we are actually in 2054. We're at the 2054 draft lottery, and I decided to start this series because this is the road to the championship is what I hope. I've won 2 championships before, but that's in you know since this started in 2018, the 2018 season. So if we look here, these are my draft picks from the year before. However, if we look to the draft lottery from this season, you can see I did indeed get the first overall pick from a trade with Philadelphia where I sent Frederick Morris, who was he was a really good prospect for 2 Philadelphia first round picks. The next one could actually be this good as well because Philadelphia isn't really good. And then we also have our own first round pick as we just missed the playoffs. It's funny, the team that made the playoffs actually only had 37 wins. So we're in 2054. In terms of the best teams in the league, Brooklyn just won the playoffs. They have a team of Isaiah Garcia, David Romero, Robert Hughes, Maria Green. It's really good. They have 770s, and this is a tough team to break down. Right now, the East Coast is the stronger coast, which is actually one of the first times in NRDBG history that this has happened. And again, you'll be seeing a lot of these teams. You'll be seeing Darius Bazley Jr. and whatnot. You'll be seeing these faces over and over again. This is actually the son of the GOAT. Let me find him. Darius Bazley was the best player in NRDBG history, playing in the Summer League right now in real life for the Oklahoma City Thunder. If we look at that, what an extraordinary career. Putting up seasons of 30 plus. If we look at his rating wise, he got into the 90s. His top season, I believe, was it was 92, you can see right there. And Darius Bazley Jr. is actually doing kind of the same, which is quite incredible. Anyway, so our team right now, what we're going to do is we're going to have to draft. I'll be putting another video out today, the second episode, but this is kind of, again, just an introduction. It might be a little bit longer of an episode, it might be shorter. I have to see. But as you can see right here, we got the first overall pick, and if we look at draft scouting in 2054, we can actually go ahead and just sim right to the draft on my export. And as you can see, we see the top. I'll read out the top 60 plus players that could be going to me with the first pick. We got Robert Tillery, Jonathan, I believe it's Blueface Porter, Daniel Crawford, Joey Wright, Christian Matthias, Brian McRae, and there's a bunch of other players as well. Philip Johnson, there's actually another Philip Johnson in our league, I believe. If I look up Philip Johnson here, will it come up with? Maybe he's retired. I think there's a retired guy named Philip Johnson. I believe he played for the Lakers at some point. There we go. Philip Johnson, yeah. This guy, absolute beast. He hit 75 overall at one point. But anyway, so yeah, Tony DeLopez is going to be a free agent. We're going to have to pay him 20 mil in the coming off season with the tiers that we have. As you can see, pretty much every season he's been improving. Obviously, besides the first to second season, that's in terms of points. In terms of assists, he's done incredible. He put up a career high 11.7, and if we look at league leaders, he is indeed leading the league in assists. So we have a great player right there. We also have Bruno Fernando, 59.70. This kid is young. This kid's really good. He was the 20th pick in the 2053 draft. And if you look at these players like Jarrett Culver, you're like, hey, this was a 2019 prospect. Why is he in 2054 as he's going to be a second-year player? How does that happen? So what the mods recently did, just to spice it up a little bit, get some names that we're familiar with. They into the draft classes, they included players that back in 2018, the 2019 roster didn't have everyone included because we didn't know who was going to be good. Jarrett Culver is one of those guys that kind of broke through um, from kind of nowhere. So any player that was not in the beginning draft classes, um, they decided to put it in the 2054 draft just to spice it up. Again, Nicholas Claxton's one of those guys. Um, we also have Khalil Whitney. I'm really excited for him and how he's going to turn out in the future. He was the ninth pick in the 2053 draft. We had a lot of picks. We had a lot of picks. Nicholas Claxton, another guy. He came from the second round. I believe just like in real life. This is the guy I really wanted. I really wanted to tackle. He's got some crazy stats, and I mean just like real life too. He's crazy at some stuff, but got a lot of weaknesses. Got a lot of holes in his game. But yeah, if we look at this, LaMelo Ball, even he's a prospect. I wonder if he's gonna do well in the league. Ja Morant, this is one guy. Again, he kind of broke out of nowhere. That's why he's in this draft class and not in the 2019, and that's why you don't see a guy like Zion Williamson, who was in the 2019 draft class in this league. Even Jackson Hayes coming in. So you see a lot of these guys, basically. That's the point. And if we look at the roster, we have a lot of these young guys. Leonard Lamb, Claxton, Culver, Fernando, Whitney, even Mitchell, who is expiring, but he'll be pretty easy to re-sign unless he obviously refuses. Leonard Lamb, another guy we're also going to have to re-sign for a pretty hefty contract. He'll get a pay rise. Again, barring that he doesn't, barring refusal. And then again, everyone else is under the age of 23 besides Tory DeLapis, who is he'll be a third-year player for us next season, and a seventh-year player, I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly, in terms of the league. So he's kind of our big leader. He came into the league at the age of he started his NBA season at 20, so he really came in 19, but he started at 20 years old. We have a lot of good talent, but it's whether that talent actually breaks through and becomes good. And with this first overall pick, again, picking a guy like Tillery could be huge at just 19 years old. I also really like Matthias as well. This is another option out of Kansas, 6081, age 18. He is definitely an option. We have to do some scouting. Along the way, we're gonna have some draft workouts. It's gonna be a fun time. We also have this 12th pick, so I got to do workouts for that. You're looking at mainly about these guys right here. I've looked at John Coat, Kevin Ingram, even Michael Peters. Really, any of these guys right here. I've looked at all of them, and I really am at a loss for who to choose. We also have the 12th pick here, and I believe that's it. And again, this 12th pick, it could be useful. I did like the look of where is he? Let's see. Honestly, I have no idea, but there's someone here that I did like. That might be Wheatley, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna have some meetings with these guys. We're gonna see, can they handle the heat of the NBA? I believe this is Blueface. It could be Blackface. I'm not sure, but we have this first overall pick. And then in terms of our history, this is important. I think this is the last thing I'll show for the episode, and then I might cut it up, do some edits, so this might be uncut. I have no idea. But this is our team's history. I joined in 2019. I don't know who was there 2018, but he had a losing record. By the way, before I get into this is Devin. By the way, before I get into any history, this is Devin Falls. He's 50 now, obviously retired. This guy was with me 2025 to 2040. What a legend for us. He never won a ring with us. I'm so disappointed. But, we drafted him with the 8th pick, and he was an absolute stud for us. And in terms of our history, if we look on the right side here, let me zoom in. We made the second round in our first year. We did a lot, but it wasn't enough, so I blew up the team. As you can see, a 1-81 season. But, that's kind of normal in this league if you want a good pick. And we ended up only getting the fourth pick in that draft as well. We have a bad history of only getting fourth picks. In fact, this is the first time in history that I've gotten the first overall pick, and only the third time in our history that we've gotten a top 3 pick. Again, 60-76 season, we also got the fourth overall pick in that season. And really, from 2018 to 2035, this team was just average, mediocre, made the playoffs sometimes. It was kind of your 15 to 25 around there of just franchises in the NBA. You always kind of see them around, but they never cause enough damage. So then we had, again, 2036, nothing happened. I blew it up one more time because it just didn't work right there. And that was with, Falls, Trier. We had those guys were 80s. It didn't work. Blew it up again. Falls retires about here, I think. Maybe that season. Wait, let me check. Devin Falls was 35 there. Was he there? Yeah, he was there as well. So literally the season after he retired, we were able to build up a good enough team to actually go out and win a chip. So that was pretty incredible because we had Peter Graves kind of became this absolute stud. Kitchen's great on defense. This was the Las Vegas glory days. We were beating Philadelphia in the finals. Actually, they ended up winning right here, but we were not in the finals this season. We only made the second round where we got swept by Dallas. Who Dallas this year had a nice team, especially for this time period. Lately the drafts have been so stacked that a lot of players have been coming out that are insane. But Philadelphia ended up beating them in the finals, which was a crazy upset. And then, as you can see right here, we went 69-13 in the season with the team of Masters again coming into. We traded Graves for Masters in a huge blockbuster trade, and it was the right trade because it ended up helping us win a ring. Masters had 12 assists and 21 points with 6 rebounds as well with a 35 player efficiency rating. And then we also had Hewitt. He came from the Masters and Hewitt. We traded from the Cavaliers. Kenner we signed in free agency for $8 million. He took a pay cut to come join, and it was a smart deal as he won his first ring, I believe. Edmundo Edwards, this guy was just experienced, old, got it done on the offensive end. Really, his usage rate was really high. I kept trying to find trades for him, but no one wanted the 35-year-old when he was making a ton of money. But it ended up helping me win a ring by not trading him. So I'll take it. Sean Abraham, another guy. This guy was a beast. We drafted him with the 4th pick. As you can see right here, we traded him, then we traded back for him, and I believe we traded for him again. If we look right here, we selected Sean Abraham, and then we traded for Andrew Kitchens, and then whatnot. Then we actually traded Kitchens for Abraham again, because Sean Abraham was just really good then. And then we ended up trading Abraham again when we decided, you know what, this team's old enough. We won a ring. It's time to blow it up. This was probably a few seasons in advance. Wayne Shaw was a fantastic pickup. This guy was on the minimum deal. You know, we picked him up right there. He wasn't really that good. At 24 years old, too, kind of, starting to hit his prime of his career where he doesn't have much time to grow as a player. And he just hit a boom button. +8 in overall, +4. We were able to give him off to Brooklyn, or well, he actually signed with Brooklyn. But yeah, fantastic deal, which helped us win us a ring. This dude, Joe Forty, we traded him to Charlotte. I kind of regret, but he was with me pretty much his whole career. Joe Forty is his name. His name's actually Willie Martinez, but if you look all across the board, 40s when he was drafted in those statistics. So I think that's going to do it for this episode. Again, just kind of a introduction to the team and whatnot. And next episode, we will have draft combines, or not draft combines, but we'll have draft workouts, who I really like, strengths and weaknesses of some guys, and who I'm really going to pick with the first pick. And then tomorrow I should be getting a video out on the NBA draft. So thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace out.